So
wait, wait, whoa, 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 whoa! This is getting into crazy territory now. What did I just do? Oh, where's the sound?
You see,
Oh, there it is.
I became a judge because
Okay,
I
it needs to be louder. It needs to be louder.
believed in fairness, justice, a
Justice.
child to know they're safe under the eyes of the law.
Yes, sir, amen. But
But when I buried my daughter, I learned something else.
wait, ain't she a tier 1 skin? Isn't that tier 1
The
skin?
law is blind.
I'm pretty sure she is. She was destined for failure.
Can't escape your
Oh my god, and that's why he's that's why he's beating up on all the other tier 1s and stuff.
fortune is fickle.
Now he
An
hates
honest
their
man
kind.
the same as a fool.
That's crazy.
I decided it's up to me to tip the scales. The world's much simpler when you presume everyone.
Yo, that's gotta hurt. Add in 60 seconds. GG. GG. That's brutal. That's also brutal. Yo, this is a good trailer. This is a really good trailer.
It over, or should I?
I'm only here to take you down.
So,
Dude, I know when the devs start talking, it's about to blow my
when it
eardrums.
falls,
Because I had to turn this up so much. And I'm just preparing for it. You I'm not hot.
You can't
I need to get some games one of these
hide
days.
this madness.
I'm not hiding in madness. I'm
I need to get some
reveling in
games, man. Well, it's starting Wednesday. I'm gonna be playing it now again.
hiding and reveling. Two
I'll teach you a thing or
sides
two
of the
about
same coin.
the rat strats, the real rat strat. I'm preparing. I'm preparing.
Hey everyone, hey chat, and welcome to a developer live stream
Yep.
for update 2.4.
I knew that was coming. Knew
and
that
the
was
Judgment
coming.
of the full event, and you just saw the awesome trailer for the event, so I hope you all enjoyed it. And I'm here with the one and only design director for Han, Dennis. How are you?
how's it
Dennis.
going?
Hi,
It's so nice to
Dennis.
see you all. We are live from our headquarters. from
Benji? I think the
Frankfurt.
guy's name's
This
Benji,
is
right?
one of the first dev streams that we do after a long time, and it's a completely new setup. So please let us know how you like it and what you would like.
What's
to
with
see
this
in the
all
future.
cure?
But I think we can say that we are both super happy to.
This a new
be
consumable
here
or something?
and talk about all the amazing changes in the event. So Dennis, what do you think we dive into it and go through all the
Gotta be.
event, all
Gotta
the
be a new
updates? We
consumable.
have so much in store for you.
New
all,
health item,
so
right?
Let's do it.
Let's go
Let's
for
do
it.
it. It's been a while, so
Everybody's here.
yeah, if you're a bit rusty, don't hate on us. And yeah, I must mention that we will have a Q&A segment at the very end. Community managers are in the chat, lurking and collecting your questions, and we will try to answer as much as we can at the end. And of course, after the stream, we will look through the
That's cool.
forums, Reddit,
The premise of it's really
comment
cool.
sections on social media, where by the way, you should totally follow us, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Twitch, and we will try to get
Y'all say it. Over here, Benji.
back
He's
to you as
slanging that
much
peen.
as
I just know he
possible,
is.
And hopefully we will have more dev streams in the future.
I know he is,
and even
dude.
more community-related streams where we can talk to you more directly.
Cool.
So let's
He's got
do
the
it. Let's
charisma,
dive
dude.
into it, and let's see the update.
Ooh.
Yes. So obviously this is not just the Judgment of the full event, which is coming on Wednesday, but also
Okay.
update 2.4.
2.4,
And, as I said, we
W.
have a lot in store for you, so let's talk about
Okay,
it.
friends,
First of all, the event day.
play Fox
As
with?
we mentioned already, it starts.
It starts from
Probably weasel your way into the group.
Just like when the update goes live, event starts, which is like only 2 days from now.
Yeah,
And then
18th to the
right?
17th.
Yeah, and then we run until
Oh, to September, so it's
17th.
2 months.
So that gives you quite a lot of time to go through the whole thing.
And as always,
Average.
we have a brand new
Right.
battle pass with the
I think they're usually
pass,
60
with the
days.
premium and free progression, and you will have 40 rewards in that, which includes 3 hunter skins, a bunch of weapon skins, weapon charms, inspect animations,
Yes.
blood bonds as usually, and it's gonna be super awesome. But we did change the pacing of the event progression. So Dennis, could you
Bro,
tell us
what
about
animal
Yes,
is that,
the
Eggy?
event is running a little bit
What animal am I
longer,
looking at?
And we're talking about like 13 weeks rather than, for example, 6 weeks, which we had for Garden of the Witch. That means though that
A
you have
dog?
more time
A
to actually
dingo?
complete that. So overall, what you do now is
Okay.
you
Yeah,
have
yeah, okay. I
3
got.
more points you can
I see it.
spend
I see
quite
it.
A lot
Love
more
it.
weeks to run through. We've also used that to kind of update
I see
the
it.
challenges a little bit. So we heard the feedback from our in-between time with Garden of the Witch. We have 5 challenges now instead of the 6 we had before. One of them is obviously reserved for the premium track. However, the total amount
That's gonna take you
of
longer.
points you can earn will still be 50 because one of those 4 free ones will also give you 20 instead of 10 BBs. So everybody can still kind of get
Who's
the same
Ollie?
rewards as they used to. And then overall, the event is a lot more relaxed because you earn a lot more points from the
What?
challenges. And that means you can just like spend more time in the event.
Who's
play through
Ollie?
Your own pacing. And I think the goal for us is that more people should be able to complete this. And I think the longer duration helped a lot. So we've heard the feedback about this one, and
Okay.
we're trying this out this time. Which I
Okay.
think is
Yeah,
really
she's sticking to her story.
And of course, feedback is still super important.
Leah, who's Ollie? Who's Ollie? I gotta know.
Ollie? Just a cute little distraction. But you know I'm all about the burly.
For us. So
Where'd she
just
even
let us
come
know
up
how
with
you feel
this?
about the changes, and we will adjust on the after the event and
Absolutely,
for future events
as always.
But it's not just the event.
Wait, is that
starts on,
somebody's?
Wednesday,
that-
But we have a brand new feature drop.
I don't know, man. I'm bad with names.
That goes until July 9th.
Which
up
drops?
to the
www.
start of event. So players will have multiple.
We gonna have that on.
ways to earn. And can you tell us like what's in Twitch?
We gonna have that on.
So we started a Twitch drop campaign, right?
I
from
think
the
I can have
beginning,
one of
and,
these.
like, we intentionally made it a
I think it's for
longer
everybody.
campaign this time around. So we want people to come back. We want people to enjoy the new DeSalle, which we're going to talk about more later in the stream. And we do have a new weapon skin. So we're going to heard you that you want new rewards and also a charm.
Finally,
and people can earn those.
no
as
one
they go
cares
through,
about your stupid charm.
Their own time. Watch
Dennis.
watch the partners. Watch other
No one
people,
cares.
Have a good fun time there and get
New
rewards
weapon
that they're all using.
skin
And actually,
is
that
sick
you
though.
mentioned the rewards.
We'll take that.
You can already go to
Instead of just getting
/Twitch
just a
drops,
random
and
Bloodborne
check,
skin.
I think the new packs out and the charm on it, and there's also information about how to link your account. So
Yep.
please
I reckon.
make sure that you first of all link your account on our
Looks okay.
website, and then also the platform through Twitch if you haven't already, and then you should be able to earn all the rewards. And of course on the website you can also find all the FAQs or questions you may have regarding the Twitch drops.
Okay.
And I have to say that since we mentioned this is a longer event,
Yes.
we will have more stuff in store for the community and more surprises during the event that we cannot just tell
What?
yet. So please keep an eye out for those. But I can promise you that it won't be a boring event.
More cosmetics.
Oh,
A
there
lot
will
of
be
things.
there will be so many exciting.
Just gonna be
features,
more
yeah.
cosmetics.
Stay tuned for more information on like those mid-event beats. There's gonna be a couple of things in store there to surprise you guys.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can't wait to talk about those more. But let's dive into the event mechanics a bit, starting with the pledge mark. So
Post Malone's come back out.
how do you earn them?
So what we do is we follow the structure from previous events where we have event
Earn or
points as
steal
the main
them.
driver. So you can do certain actions in the game, like for example, play the objective, kill certain special monsters. We also have the Orwellian effigies come back from a previous event. You can find scattered throughout the world.
Oh,
And
the
you,
effigies are
kill
back.
those,
Wait, that's
destroy
sick.
those, and therefore get your event points.
Well, they are kind of like bringing the circus back. I heard, right? A little bit. So you never know. Maybe Posty comes back.
Event points allow you to earn pledge
Maybe.
marks. Every 25 event points, you get one pledge mark, as in previous events.
Okay.
In addition to that, we
How many can we hold at a
have,
time?
In Bounty Collection, Soul Survivor, different rules for that. So you get like 3 for winning in Soul Survivor, and 2 if you do the.
I don't even know what
Bounty
hunt
Clash.
is.
So
Never
there's
played
other
it.
ways for you to get to them. But normally you just play, and you can obviously also be lucky and kill some other players, and maybe they had some on them.
I've heard
and
of
you
that
steal them
game.
from them as well. So
Is that a game?
all these mechanics that we've had in previous events,
Like a Hunter Call of the Wild. Is that what you're talking about?
returning, giving
Oh,
you
you're talking about-
full control about cool rewards
Played
that
that
you can
before.
get that way.
Pretty
Right,
fun,
and you
actually.
mentioned pledge marks, but we have a brand new place in the
Benji
event
is always so
uh,
happy.
that's called the Fool's Hideout,
Yes.
and it's very
Look
connected
at
to
him.
pledge marks.
That is
as
that's
well,
pure
and I
joy
think
on his face all the
players
time.
may have seen it already in the trailer, but
Movement
yeah, let's
location.
talk about this new location and what players can do.
Found across the maps.
Similar to what we had with resupplies and also like the circus in the previous events, we do have this new location. So we call it the Fool's Hideout. You might have seen this a little bit in the trailer we just showed at the beginning. And what it does is basically it adds a new 17th type of special location besides our normal compounds that you can kind of find. There's like, I think, 3 locations per map, so they will be randomized a little bit. And over there you'll find lots of like
Oh,
unique
three
rewards,
locations per map. Okay.
like in previous events as well. Like this is where you find
So you're gonna get your traits. From the trailer, it looked like there's 3 traits. Your ammo box.
exclusives that only
Cash.
there for the event duration,
Whatever.
and some of
Cash
the
registers.
like evergreen, old familiar pledge rewards and seal rewards that you can obtain from there. So it's a really cool new location. And,
trait
we
wager,
have a couple
spur,
of
and
new
catalyst
exclusive things
trait?
to be found there as well. So on one hand, we have the new trait wager spur. This is something we talk about in a second.
Yes.
And
Oh,
then
that's 2 different
we
traits.
have the catalyst trait, which we'll also talk about in
Okay.
a second as a new thing. And alongside that, we have the return of some of the
Give me that
old
cheat.
familiar ones. So we're bringing back 2 traits from previous events, which we can.
That's all I care about, dude. It's just
Yeah,
like,
so
give me
you
that
of
cheat
course
every
mentioned
game and
the
I'll be
new,
happy.
Wagers per, straight wagers
Please.
per, and the
Please.
catalyst. So, what are those?
Bring that
Let's
back.
see what we can tell about those.
So the
Whoa.
wager, the trait
Gambling?
wager spur is basically a random trait. What it means is, though, you find it at the Fool's Hideout location, and when you interact with it for 1 pledge mark, and you can do multiple of these interactions, it gives you 1 random
Wait.
trait. So you can kind of.
This is way better.
Which ones do I get?
This is way better than the circuses, dude. The circus, like whenever I do the fortune teller, the only reason I'd go there is to try to get traits.
If you have
This is sick.
some for example, pledge marks that you
This is
took
sick.
from enemies, etc., and you want to spend them. So this is similar to like the fortune teller machine. It's just very focused on the traits this time around. So that's a unique thing that you find just at the central location, just at the Fool's Hideout.
Yeah, and there was another thing you mentioned, the catalyst trait. So what?
Catalyst.
So catalyst trait combines the trait conditional effects that we've had in previous events under one umbrella. So we have 1 trait, the catalyst trait. If you have that, it unlocks all of these conditional abilities on other traits that you have on your hunter. So catalyst on its own doesn't really do anything, but having it alongside the other
Is this
traits
busted?
gives you then special abilities. So
Is this busted?
there's a couple of old familiar ones, like for example the beast face I can mention as an example, where you're being completely ignored
Yeah.
by the dogs, the horses, etc. So it's a very strong trait, but you need the
Pain sense. What was it? You could like see when people were low on stam, I think, right? Vigilant. I don't. You could see traps further or something like that. I don't know kite skin. I don't know fannings. I don't know
other
frontiers.
traits, so it acts as a catalyst in order to allow you to benefits from it. So it's a really cool new addition, and
I think of the
it's
wrong
an
trait.
interesting way for us to, rather than having this as we had
What's
in the past
frontiersman again?
on a per pact basis, some of them. Now you can basically have all of them
I remember.
combined, but you need catalyst.
And I think that one of the most exciting ones is the fanning change. So
Oh yeah.
let's see what fanning does.
Oh,
with
why?
catalyst.
Yeah, so with fanning, we're introducing a new conditional effect for this event, where if you have catalyst attached, we also allow you to fan from the 2-slot single action revolvers. Now, what that means is that any of those
the hell?
pistols with a stock attached to it, or
No
also
way.
a haymaker as a big 2-handed handgun, all of those rather basic pistols now have an additional close quarter defense by giving you a chance to fan
Haymaker
them.
with fanning?
Obviously, that fanning is slower than,
That's
for
dope.
example, with a one-handed weapon.
Uppercut
We're
precision?
talking about fanning from a more stable firing platform because stabilization, right? So you have a bit more control about it. So it's a trade-off
Oh,
between
it's gonna be
speed of
busted.
fanning versus like the amount of screen kick it has, and therefore makes it a bit more controllable. But the output is not quite the same as for a single one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like how will it change gameplay?
That's
What
dope.
do you expect for playstyles?
So
with this new trade?
that's an excellent question, Vance. Now the important piece here really is that by it affecting primarily the medium slot
Sorry, I was
loadouts,
burping.
we see, or we hope to see, a lot more loaded combinations. Like, so you could bring, for example, the bow as one medium slot, and then you just bring the haymaker, and you still have some close quarter defense with the fanning catalyst.
Dennis, it has a shotgun.
At the same time, like we expect people to kind of like experiment a little bit more with like these type of loadouts, but obviously it's also interesting for quartermaster because yeah, you can kind of bring like another backup weapon if you're, for example, playing a rifle or a sniper or whatever. You can have a
it's gonna be sick.
backup, and that gives you
cool.
close quarter defense with.
Well, not gonna be cool because everybody's gonna be running it,
It's more
but
precise than if you were shooting one-handed.
it's okay.
Right. I mean, it sounds very fun, and we cannot wait to see how players enjoy it and what they think about it.
Don't
And
piss me
now that
off.
we talked about all these cool new event mechanics, let's just like look at the lore very slightly to what players can expect and what is the event about.
Lore.
So,
Okay.
first of all, after Garden of the Witch, it's part of a Tarot trilogy, right?
Yes. So this is the second installment of our Tarot installment or trilogy, and yeah, like we have a couple of new things happening here. So if you can go,
what's happening?
We have the Fool as one of the main antagonists. So he was once known as Dr. Red Martin. You might know him from a legendary weapon that we've had floated.
Oh,
around
it's
for some
not
time.
real. It's a fake
so he
here.
has like kind of like done some things which are not so nice, like poison some people.
All cure
tried
is
to
a
make some profit out of
poison.
their misery. He is on the run now, and
Okay.
the person that tries to bring him to justice is the Pale Judge.
Pale Judge.
Now he has a personal motivation in there as well, because his daughter was one of them that got killed by the events that happened. So he is a bit of on a revenge trip, but also obviously he's part of the government, part of the law.
Makes
and
sense.
Trying to bring him down, and yeah, find him.
Skin's kind of ugly though.
In addition to that, we have Dorothy Ellis, and Dorothy is a bit of a wild card. Like she's
What up, my
supporting
bat?
the Fool.
What up,
She's one of
what
the
up,
survivors
what up?
from the Ellis Farm incident. from way, way, way
OMG,
back.
Maddie Patty Dean
So-
69. 10 chat messages in a row. That's a streak to be proud of. Keep it going.
Yo.
Gonna be interesting.
Yo.
Like,
Okay.
her role
Yeah,
will
W
be in the
W
whole
shout
thing
out there,
as the
Leah.
drama unfolds.
Right. Let's take a look at her as well.
Yeah.
Very cool. And you know,
Actually, wait. Let me go back.
Yeah, but also obviously
Kind of looks like you, Maddie.
he's part of the from way, way, way back. Unfolds.
right. Let's take a look at her as well. Very cool. And you know, like you mentioned, the big conflict between the
Wait, what's longer? The chat streak? It's when you got to type, you know, and it only started like 10 streams ago.
judge
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the Fool, and
She only started counting like 10 or 12 streams ago, something like that. was
wonder
like 2
how
weeks.
this will turn out, and maybe there's gonna be some more fun.
It was like 3
in the
weeks ago, I
future.
think.
Yes.
But that's it for the lore recap.
She understands it.
And let's look at the big gameplay changes. And
Yes.
Okay.
I think
New
one of the most
monster.
fun one is the Brute.
This is the one that looks like the bear, right?
Let's see a short video of it first.
Video.
And
Yeah, Matt,
after that we can
new
talk about
new
what it
mobs.
does. In a second.
Benji is so happy. Yo, get that video, man. Come on. Video guy. Yo, is that it? It's the bear with an extra arm. 2 extra arms. Yeah, is that not just Ursa? No, 'cause Ursa didn't have extra arms, did she? Did she? Let me look it up. Okay, it's Ursa without one of the heads. It's literally Ursa without one of the heads. Look. Literally Ursa without a head. That's the exact head. Look. Yeah. Okay. 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 All right.
All right.
Real
so
creative,
that's
guys.
the new AI, the Brute. And what can you tell us about it? Like we teased it, we showed it.
It has the same
So,
amount of arms. It's
you
just
might
missing a
remember
head.
the markets, Ozymandias has moved away with the circus, but the
Found
corruption
in
never stops.
forested
So
areas.
things
Okay, so it's not a
in the world
boss.
have
It's not a
been
boss.
impacted, have been infected. So the corruption never sleeps. And in this case, we now have the Brute as basically a mutated bear entity. And it does all the things.
Yeah, it's
that you
just
would
random.
expect. Like it's very aggressive.
Like a meathead.
It's like has the type of shriek attack that we've known from Ozymandias already. And what's very interesting about it is that you will find it mostly in forest areas. So we're talking about an enemy that we will find primarily in the in-between
Now
areas.
live
Normally we don't
permanently?
have that much of a presence. So that's going to be interesting as you traverse the world. That you will have come across that in locations
not
that
now.
normally thought could actually be a nice
Wednesday.
safe spot, like a safe spot, like a refuge for you, and you now might not
That's
be
cool.
alone in that.
Sounds awesome. And since we talked about the event and we already mentioned the hideout, we can actually also show you the hideout.
The hideout.
We have two videos to showcase how it looks because, as we said, you've seen it in the trailer, but we want to
The Fool's
give
Hideout,
you
right?
a more cinematic look at it as well. So let's look at that now.
Okay. Okay, it's the big Ziadi. The big Ziadi. Okay, wait. I gotta see. There's 4 traits. A red, blue. So this is probably a random trait, would be my guess. Then we have the 2 event traits and another random one, maybe. Medkit, like the full med, cash, ammo. Oh yeah, it's a random trait. You see, that was a white trait that time. Alright, okay. Dark sight boost. 4 shotgun, please. Dude, are you serious? Can we raise that up? Please. Put pledges on it. 4 minutes?
So as you can see, like
Waste.
the Fool's Hideout has like this
Yeah.
interior section underneath where you'll find.
Yeah,
all the
it's
cool
horrible. I
rewards
was
that we
hoping they were
have.
gonna up it
Talk
again.
A bit more about some of those traits as well. That are
It's
returning. For
not.
example, we have
Nah, if you're playing
Gunrunner,
paying pledge
combat,
marks,
we
it should be like
have,
a
Corpseer trait
normal
card,
one,
the
right?
sights, the trait
I feel.
register,
Oh, it used to be.
those will be found guaranteed in that location,
Sad.
just like the envelopes you've seen. So whenever you go there to the hideout, you always have these cool rewards there. But you can also find some of those randomly, like at supply points or in the towers as usual.
Oh.
If you're lucky. And
Towers are back.
So
Towers
there's
are
gonna
back.
be lots of things around there. As you've seen, like the Fool's Hideout basically has like an outer ring out of wagons.
Hey
And
Matt,
that
did you
wagons
miss the
can
traits?
keep
Did you miss
being
the trait
held
breakdown?
out with a lot
Look at
of
this.
defense by giving you a chance to fan with them from enemies, etc., and you want to spend them. So this is similar.
Okay, so well, there's only one new trait, right? So there's a wager thing, kind of like the fortune teller, where you get a random trait. Only traits though now. And then there's this catalyst trait, which gives you the conditional effects of the other traits. So like Beast Face makes you invisible or whatever, you know what I mean? The AI. And they're adding this fanning, a fanning conditional effect with catalyst.
Strong to allow a way for us to basically have all of the catalyst attached.
This.
We're
It unlocks the ability
introducing-
to fan medium slot single action revolvers.
Go back in your inventory if you
Play and what's new.
Here we go. Here we go. Whoa, wait.
I think it's gonna be very fun, but I can't wait to see how it turns out.
Well, you
And
might.
with that-
Well, you got to think you got a stock on, so I'm sure the fanning is gonna be a little bit better, right? Than if it didn't have a stock. I would imagine.
We do have a lot of changes with combat and
This is combat.
balance. So
Yes.
let's
Yes.
talk
Saw something about
that,
traps.
like how the
There.
gunfights actually play and what's new in this.
Can now be picked up
so
again.
Let's go through step by
Dead.
step. This would be the fun section, obviously. Like,
Your
Yeah.
favorite.
Gameplay is always great.
Your
I love
favorite, yeah.
gameplay. We have done a couple
This is
of
so
changes,
needed.
I'm going step by step. The first one is that you can now pick up dual traps. So if you brought some bear traps, if you brought like a concealment trap, and you place them,
huge.
and then the enemy team just goes completely like a different direction, you can actually dismantle those, which you could do before, but you had to leave them behind. Now they go back in your inventory if you have space for them. So that means you can kind of like bring them along.
What if a teammate picks them up? Like if your teammate has an open slot and he picks up your trap, does he have traps then? And then could he go use a box and get all the traps? That's kind of cool. That would be kind of cool.
In a different location. It just makes it a bit more tactical.
Or enemies. Can enemies pick them up?
Actually, I've seen a good question for you regarding traps, because that's always your favorite. And I think you kind of answered it, but just to clarify it. So if you have empty slots for it, can you steal other players' traps?
Oh, that's...
So if you brought traps...
So I was wondering.
Left them somewhere and didn't pick them up, and you come across some of the same type later on that another player deployed, you can just pick them up. And
but not if you have an empty slot?
And then use them against them in a clever way at a different location. I mean,
that was very specific how he said that.
Before already, and you could just
very specific how he said that.
Right? Yeah. But they were kind of like the lanterns and the melee weapons you found
so
on the walls. Like
you have to have that type of trap already.
Now they really
okay.
go back in your inventory if you have the first chance, and then if whatever fight doesn't happen, you kind of like left them all behind. That always feels a bit sad. So you have a bit more options there. So I think that's something which is really cool and has been asked for quite a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I heard this.
Yeah,
so
I've been begging for that.
But why don't we just take a look at it and see how players can pick it up?
I mean, it's just gonna go back in the inventory, right? No reason to even see this. Disarm and take. Yeah, so just go straight in. I want to see it from another player POV.
Rather straightforward. Obviously,
Dark Diamonds makes less than
your inventory, but you can also pick up other people's traps if you have brought the traps to begin.
It's over.
With,
it's over.
Some charges empty at the moment. So
it's over.
Suddenly it doesn't apply to me because I already
it's over. It's over.
I hear that a lot from many different people.
It's over. It's over.
Especially if they are next to Red Bell. Yeah.
It's over. I'm dead.
But we also
I'm
made
dead.
a small change to Dark Dynamite.
I'm dead.
Yes.
So,
oh no.
So we looked at the usage of the Dark Dynamite satchel, and while this is a great addition, it wasn't quite there yet where we wanted it to be. So
it's not a great
the
addition,
problems
man.
we identified it was just a bit too easy to pick it up, just a bit too easy to figure out.
Because
where
you can
it is
kill
in the
people through
world,
walls with it.
and therefore the chance for it to succeed in blowing you up was rather slim. So one of the changes we've done is kind of make it a little bit more subtle in the world. You can still listen to it. Obviously, it still shows up vigilant, and you have a chance to kind of see it across the different.
Vigilance like a
players,
must-have
but
trait
it
now,
is
huh?
no longer as loud as it used to be. So hopefully a bit more success in actually placing it in ambush situations. And as a player, you need to be even more careful now, Benz.
Yeah, of course. And this is one of the many audio changes we introduced in this update. But
yeah,
why don't you just listen to it and watch how this works? So,
oh boy,
your ears,
listen.
Everyone.
Could go over 100%.
Listen.
Whoa. No way, dude. No way. It's over. It's over. They didn't just make less noise. It's gonna be so hard to hear, man. It's gonna be so hard to hear. Oh god.
Right, and now we talked about noise. So let's talk about the silence.
Oh no.
So as you remember,
oh no, it gets worse.
It
gets worse, bro.
Rebalance some of the damage pieces around them.
Silencers,
most of it was in response for addressing.
Silencers are back.
To be a massive success, but also a very.
Silencers are back.
The balancing we've been doing has been very global, like universal, and obviously some of the weapons which might not have needed a nerf were affected by it. So we did another pass on that based on the feedback, and what we have now is that the long.
You know what I need? You know, now they're doing silencer stuff. Why don't we get a cord wiener silenced?
is
Throw that out there. Let's throw that out there. Why can't we get that? Huh?
basically reducing the damage
I'd
by
use it.
10%, which is the change we had,
I'd use it.
before. However, medium and compact ammo is now only reduced by 5%. So there's still a reduction. We just kind of be a bit more separate about it based on the ammo types, and we are more targeted in a way that we can address specifically the crack silencer that has suffered the most there. One thing that is important to understand, though, is like we look at the data side of things, and the usage of the silenced weapons actually didn't change that drastically. The important piece, however, is that the usage of the crack silencer, that's the one that really, really changed. So even though it was an unfair change in 2.3, it still did.
Oh, Fast Fingers.
It would, which is reduce.
Oh my God, Fast Fingers is back.
Crack silencer, bring it a bit more down to a reasonable level. It did that without necessarily completely removing all.
Yeah,
the
knows
other
what the trade
silencers,
is.
but
That's
all of them
crazy.
Went down just a little bit in usage. Keep in mind, we also introduced the 1865 silencer at the same time, so there was a bit of a redistribution happening as well. But we feel this is now in a healthy spot, and obviously with a new.
Wait, so the carbine, 1865 carbine is going to do more damage again? Oh,
The compact and medium
oh
weapons
my
are not suffering
God.
as extremely as they did in 2.3.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Bro, it's like you come out of a recession, you know, you're making that money, life's feeling good, and the government says, hey, now you got to pay taxes. You know, something like that. I don't know. That was probably a horrible,
because it's a bigger,
comparison.
And I see that we changed the fast finger trait. We reduced the cost.
We're just going back.
So there's also something where
We're just going back.
While it was appreciated as a trade, it might have just been a bit too expensive.
We're going back to
we brought
poverty.
it down from 6 to 4 points, which feels a bit more reasonable now in terms of.
It's over, dude. We're getting satcheled, trapped, silenced. We're never gonna die to like a person with a normal gun. It's gonna be silencers or traps, dude. It's over.
10 points from the start.
It's over.
It becomes a lot more viable as a building block of your start.
Bounty carriers get their health chunks back on extract. That's kind of cool. That's kind of, you know, okay. W. I mean, it doesn't really matter because you get so many trait points anyways.
Like interesting traits at the same time.
But yeah, we can kill each other.
And one big change, actually, in my opinion, that's really cool, is that now
We can kill each other.
get back their lost health chunk.
I love that.
Yeah, so this is like a quality of life change.
Love that.
I think many of you guys have asked for a long time already. So basically, if you are playing the objective, if you get your bounty, and you might have lost some bars along the way, we take away the logistical burden of having to re-equip all of the bars. We just give them back to you for free if you extract with bounty.
But it's only the bounty
as a
carrier.
team, not individually. So
Oh,
if
everybody!
in the team
Wait!
might not actually be having bounty on them, as long as you extract with your teammates.
That's
there's a
sick.
benefit from it in the same way.
And as I mentioned, like, we
That's
listened
sick.
to a lot of feedback regarding this. Like, you mentioned the silencer changes, and we will continue to do that. I mentioned in the beginning of the stream as well. So please give us feedback regarding all of these changes. We will make sure to keep that in mind and try to change in the future based on it. It's very important for us.
What we basically are still doing, we've been doing last update, we're still doing this update. We want to make sure that we walk back some of the changes you guys didn't like since our August release last year.
Oh my God, I left my
And
garden.
some health operations changes here and there where we just
Left
make
the
sure
water
that
going
you
on my
guys
garden.
have the best-
Wait, give me a sec. Wait, give me a sec. Give me a second. Oh my God. Hey, what I hear? Oh, Naruto. Hey, it ain't flooded, but it's soaked. I don't gotta water it tomorrow either. That's
If
for
you wanna
sure.
Play, the changes make sense to you.
That's a
And
2-day
so
water
the
right there.
important feedback right now for us is whatever you guys like and don't like, and it drives our decisions.
It's on for like an hour.
Balancing on other pieces as well.
I think that's actually a really good point. We mentioned with Garden of the Witch already that we try to focus on
Garden of the
health
Witch?
of the game, and it's still
That
true.
what you
to
said?
this update. Garden of the Witch already that we try to focus on health of the game, and it's still a point. We mentioned with Garden of the Witch already that we try
Garden
to
of the
focus
Witch?
on health of the game, and it's still true to this update.
Why you gotta call her that,
It's an
man?
important piece right now.
She was a nice
want to
lady.
Make sure that
I swear.
the game feels as best as it can be for you guys. And, those changes, you can see all of them were community.
They're all
requests.
nice ladies, all the
We
witches.
really want you guys to feel at home here.
Sounds great.
Damage
and now that we talked about the balance
rebalancing.
changes, let's look at the damage
Bullets
side of
lose
things,
less
so how we
damage
rebalance the
over
damage.
distance.
So this is a bigger package. So we should just show all of the bullet points already at the same time. So what we've been doing is
Oh my
looking at
God,
the
I don't wanna hear
power
it.
of
What just
weapons,
Oh no. It was oh. Wait. 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 Wait.
in how their role is in the game. And one thing we noticed is that we didn't feel like the shots were very often consistent in terms of damage, but we also didn't feel that shots were.
So a chest to dick shot is gonna do extra damage. It's over. It's over. The arm changes to W. Arm changes to W.
Enough at longer distances, for example. So we're taking this
Over,
problem
bro.
from multiple fronts. One
It's
of them
over.
is that we have bullets in general lose less damage over distance. So
Wait, whoa. This is getting into crazy territory now. So the silencers are getting buffed, and then torso shots are getting buffed. It's over.
As
It's
the
over.
bullet travels is a bit
It's over.
less, and that will benefit
It's
some
over.
of the bullets like compact and medium.
It's the double buff
have
on
start very
silencers.
strongly over distance to the point that sometimes
Double
you get
buff.
like 7 or 14 damage points, and obviously even if you have a 25 bar,
I don't think they
you can
thought that
reach
through.
that one rather quickly. See, we want there to be more of an impact. That means if you do a good hit over distance, like upper torso type of thing, like you kind of did aim well, it's a hit over.
It don't say
long
upper.
time,
He
that's
said
enough.
upper torso type thing. It just says torso, not upper torso. It just says
So
torso.
At least 50 damage across most of the weapons. Keep in
If
mind,
it's just upper torso, it's not as bad. But
we
don't
have
say that
tons of weapons. Some of them might fall under this just a little bit because it's very systemic in nature. We're using
I don't think they have a
multipliers, different
differentiation
types,
between upper and
etc.
lower torso.
But for the most part, whenever you hit someone over distance, it should at least require them to somehow bandage up because they actually lost some health. And in a similar way, if you're being hit in the limbs at a distance, we at least want it to be 25 of damage. Again, silencers or some of the weaker weapons might not 100% always get to that min threshold, but across the arsenal, you should see that as a more consistent thing. And the exact details of that one you can also read up in the patch notes afterwards, that we have like
Okay.
a more detailed list what it all means for different weapons.
Right, and we also have some graphs to show this
Yes.
with the different sizes. So first is the compact ammo.
Yeah, so as you can see here at the moment is basically this is like the old one if I'm not mistaken. If you go to the next one, this is
The next one is medium.
the next one. So okay, you see the old and the new one on the same chart. The moment it's so small for us we can't even see
Yeah.
it. So we have to, there's some colored lines there.
Yes.
And you can already compare. So like probably people will take screenshots
not
of the
the
stream.
old
You
and
can
new.
guys probably see that in Reddit in more detail
What
afterwards.
am I looking at
I'm
here?
just gonna leave each of them for a few seconds, but it's a different ammunition types. You can kind of see how the new and the old one differ in terms of the retention of the damage over a longer distance.
There's no new and old.
And we also have
What?
different sub ammo types in there, so it's interesting also in general
What?
to kind of see, like for example, the plateau we have on FMJ bullets, where it kind of keeps the
Where do we see the old and new? What am I looking at? There's no old and new.
100% damage for a longer distance compared to the regular bullet.
Is this all
You
new?
get all of that detail from the charts, so just look at them afterwards in all the details. But it's a great reference.
Am I
for
high?
everybody to kind of check it out.
Yeah, we can't wait to see the analytics on Reddit for this as well.
There will be plenty.
Am I high?
I'll
Yeah,
read
but-
it all.
Yeah, we showed
Am I high? Is there no old and new?
compact, medium, long, special ammo, as well as
No, it's nothing hit the 1.2, did it? Yeah, it all started at 1, so where's the new?
lines for us. It's very small, but
Let's figure it
Yeah,
all out.
yeah.
But can you go
we're
back
figuring nothing out, man. It's not even the new changes.
to
Hell?
because we still have
I don't see no 1.2 there.
before we go to the burn speed. That was a nice teaser, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Burn speed.
Yes.
No, skip over
So
that.
because there's more to it. It's not just the damage. Torso,
I don't care
damage
anymore,
wounded,
man. I'm
there's
over it.
the-
I'm over it.
also
I'm over it. I'm over it. Silencers are gonna kill.
And
Earlier
this graph?
changes. So, what exactly changed in the
Fire.
fire
Oh
and burn
god.
speed?
so the biggest difference what we're doing is that we differentiate now
Oh.
between a fast and a slow
Oh.
burn.
Oh.
The important piece here is that as long as you're inside fire, like someone threw a fire
Oh.
or a lantern at you, while that fire is there, you can fuel the fire on the hunter as well. So now you are burning fast. However, if you've just been ignited, for example, from
Oh.
a flare pistol, there might be a few seconds with a strong
Sure,
burn
and adds
initially,
more
but then
depth.
it kind of goes to that
Yo.
slower burn rate. What that means is you will
I
have
like
a
that.
much stronger relevance of what item you use to burn. So a flare pistol still
I like that a
ignites,
lot.
flare pistol is still reliable, but it also means for the most part you can only get to the slow burning, which means it takes a
Dude,
bit
nobody's
longer
flare
for
pistol
people
in
to really
anybody.
burn out, and gives then, for
They
example,
act like
teammates
that's
a better
happening in every
chance of a
game.
longer
Nobody's
time to
doing
do
that.
something about it. So
Oh, I guess.
we no
Oh,
longer
for
treat
bodies.
fire
For
as fire
bodies.
as
Never mind.
fire,
I'm
but
tripping.
we now have a differentiation
tripping.
in there, and
For
hopefully
bodies.
that brings a bit more diversity in gear. For example, finding that lantern or.
But wait. When you throw a fuse on somebody, it's lit, right? So is that considered a fast burn? Because it's sitting, the fuse is sitting on them? Probably not, but I feel like it should.
And differences even between a hellfire bomb.
I feel like it should, because the fuse lasts a while. I mean, the flare does too, though, as well. And they said the flare is at a slow. Okay.
Like the normal fire bomb burns for several minutes, so that means you can almost guarantee to burn someone out fast. But a hellfire bomb kind of diminishes after a few seconds, and then you would have a slow burn as well.
I like that.
So
I like that.
tactical depth
People
that we're adding to
people
this
burn out way too
should
quick.
help kind of break up some
Burn
of
out
the
way too
amount
quick.
we have seen in the inventory, and I think that will be very
Now,
helpful
how is
in
this?
the game.
One note to mention: what happens?
Oh,
if
they go
someone
over the
submerged or
compounds.
underwater?
Yes. So one of the things we did at the same time is that if you are submerged in water,
Salve skin no longer slows down burning when
and someone, for
downed,
example, throws a
but out
liquid
fires
fire bomb
faster.
at you.
No longer slows down burning when down, but you can put out fires faster?
Faint charcoaling if you are in a fire volume. So think of it like during
I don't get it.
heavy rain, for example, right? Like we kind of like have a little bit on the ground, but it can't be.
Heavy rain?
So think of it like during like the heavy rain, for example, right? Like we kind of like have a little bit on the ground, but you can't.
Is that a tease? Is that a tease?
Can't really fully ignite. It's a similar thing here.
Is that a tease?
The important piece is that if someone hits
Are we getting heavy rain
an
back?
object in the water next to you, let's say like a
Have they
puddle
said that
of
yet?
or tree stump or whatever, they can still obviously create a fire.
Sounds like we're getting
effect,
rain
and for
back.
the duration of that fire, you might still do that. But burning out inside water is very, very hard, and you need to bring the right tools for it over a longer time. But that is something that we've done at the same time to kind of break it up a little bit. So, for example, if someone dies very close to the shoreline and you ignite the shore, there might be some some fire over the water where they are lying, and then that will affect it.
That makes a lot of sense. And we also changed Salve skin because of the changes.
Yeah, this one I want to hear about. I don't
um,
understand this.
In order for us to now only have these two speeds for burning, the fast and the slow, we didn't want to introduce even more granularity into that one. And traditionally, what Salve skin has been doing was that Salve skin impacted how long it takes for you to burn out when on the ground. So instead, now we do
Not
have,
just on the ground,
depending
it's-
on how you're being ignited and whether you can fuel the fire around the body. We now have the two speeds, and we didn't
When
want
you're up,
another
too.
one in there.
Right.
So Salve skin has been changed. It no longer slows down the burning. However, you can
it's
put
useless.
out the fire. So think of it similar to what Mithridates is doing for poison.
Oh, like when you're bandaging when you're on fire. Okay. No, that makes sense. I get it now. I get it now. So you just, when you hold F, it's quicker. It's like, but wait, can't you just use, what's that one trait? Physician? Is it physician that's quicker?
Or what Bloodless is
Wouldn't that
doing
work right?
for bleeding. Like you only basically have the base stage of that damage effect, and it still gives you an advantage to kind of recover from it much faster. And obviously, you also still on Salve skin have all the advantages you had before when it comes to reduce
that's cool.
charcoaling when you, for example, get hit by incendiary ammunition, etc.
Okay, so it's still the
That's
reduced
good.
charcoal.
So we talked a lot about fire, but I think we
Okay,
do
so
have
no,
a nice
that's like a-
comparison video to show here. So
Yep.
let's look
That's
at
cool.
the burning speeds.
I like the overall. That's good. Okay, wait. Whoa. 2.3, 2.3 Salve skin, 2.4 slow, 2.4 fast. I want that to be over here. I want those flip flopped. Okay, so the fast is what the speed is now, and the slow is what it is with Salve skin. That's simple. Okay, that's good.
45% slower burn on the slow burn.
Yeah, we don't need to read.
And as well, starting with the silent killer trait improvements.
Yes, so Silent Killer is one of the traits we looked at a little bit and wanted to improve. One
Okay.
thing we've been doing here is that if you have Silent Killer actually on your hunter, and you do a melee attack, or you do a ranged attack against an AI which is not in combat, which is unaware, you can now kill them silently. So this is really, really cool, for example, for crossbow, bow users. Like if you aim your shots carefully, you bring them down with one hit, and they're not alerted yet, you can be a lot more effective of killing them silently. And
it's like Assassin's Creed now.
Melee attacks as well, which understandably sometimes can be a bit harder as you approach. Like
That's
if you're
cool.
not really crouching, they might still get onto you at one point.
Active
But
interactions
in
in
addition to what
Dark
Santino
Side?
was doing before, which was just that your
What's this
sounds
mean?
as a hunter were suppressed, we now have an effect on the grunts at the moment, and we're trying this out.
Like you can open
on the grunts
gates and
first, then
stuff?
depending on the feedback, we might expand this
Like
to other
this,
AI in the next updates.
The
moving
wheel
forward.
gates or whatever they're
But you
called.
see a lot more stealth possible now if
Oh,
you
what they're
know
trying to say?
play and bring things down silently.
You can
That sounds really, really
Maybe
fun.
bring up-
Always fun to be a ninja. So
bring up an elevator or something. Is that what I was talking about?
and we have some other changes to Dark Side where
Yes.
we changed how it works with active interactions.
Yes, so you've seen that a little bit from what we introduced before, but now all of the active interactions are actually triggered by the mouse button or the triggers on the controller to choose when to use them. So this gives you a lot more control what to activate.
Wait,
So
what?
No longer do you just hover over an enemy about to shadow leap, lost a little bit of health, then that sparks hits you, you're frustrated. Like you now have control when to commit to these type of actions, and that makes the whole thing a lot more
I don't understand that one.
easier to pace from your side with these abilities
I don't understand that
throughout
one.
everything that is possible in Dark Side.
Awesome. And our little friends, the
Yeah.
Beatles, got some improvements.
So
too.
the Beatles are kind of benefiting from this as well, obviously. Like they also get the active interactions. In addition to that, we looked at some of the traits and decided that the Beatles should also now be able to use Serpent, which is a really, really strong improvement, especially like for solos.
Oh.
Kind of like
Oh.
now see if you can maybe snatch
What?
like that clue or other pieces like
Oh.
a bit more silently.
That's cool.
And also
That's cool.
Big note. While it can interact with Serpent, it cannot steal bounty. So that's not a possibility. We
Okay,
don't have
okay.
it flying around with bounty
That's
targets.
good.
Well,
That's
that would be
good.
hilarious, but
Yeah.
I don't, yeah,
But
maybe not should be the
You,
most.
you,
Oh,
could,
that's
you
pretty
could, for
cool,
example,
though.
start a banish from a distance and things like that, right? So it just gives you a bit more options. And in a similar way, Remedy also works now with the Beetle. So if you remember where that trait was in the tower,
Oh.
you pinned down in the fight, but you really want the bars back and you have Remedy, like you can fly
That's
to that other
wait.
trait with a Beetle
Beetles are
in that
back.
direction and get your boss back that way. So just a little bit of edge case, sandboxy elements that we can add.
I
to
think
this.
it's really cool, and Beetle is even better.
The
and,
news
we
is
love
back,
the Beetle,
maybe.
We love the
so-
Beetle.
Come on.
All three of them.
Come on. Beetle one.
And yeah,
Beetle one
there's
inbound.
change that
Don't
I'm
get your
actually
trait.
really, really
Don't get your
looking forward.
bars
I've
back.
been asking for it for a long time. So ever since we introduced weapon skins, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But
now
now
it
we
shows
show
base
the base
item
item name, and not the name
names.
of the weapon skins. But
Finally, yes.
Ah.
So this is
I like
a really,
that.
really cool quality of life change where like
I like
especially
that.
if you're not familiar with all of the
No,
like,
hey, they're
legendary
back,
skins
dude.
or cosmetic skins where
Beetle
you have,
one is back.
what weapon they belong to and then whether you should pick up that weapon or not, especially in the heat of combat. We now
Beetles
just show the
are
base name,
back.
and then you can figure
Love
out
that.
what the variant is afterwards the usual way.
yeah,
New
again, it's
hunter
very, very
bots?
cool, and I'm excited for it. But there's a bigger change for the new players and people new to hunt. Maybe hi if you're
So you
watching,
verse
I hope you
bots
will
to
enjoy
your
this
rank 11?
change. So we're introducing hunter bots until rank 11 only
Yes.
for new players.
So this is an important important caveat here. While we're introducing hunter bots, they're primarily as a purpose for onboarding. We want to make sure that new players have a good time.
Yo, this is slippery slope. This is slippery slope. This is slippery slope. This is a very slippery slope, guys. Right now it's rank 11, but bots are not a
So
good
that's
thing in
why
a
they're only
PvP
limited
game.
to the new player experience. That's what they're built for, and they should give new players just a nicer experience. They're gonna learn the ropes and get familiar
No,
with the game.
no. What they're doing is they're using this to teach the bots. I'm guaranteeing you. It'll bots are gonna come to regular games too eventually. I'm calling it right now.
Of course, player onboarding
1 to 2 years down the line, it's gonna say new hunter bots in every match
has been like a big focus point for us.
to fill the match to make
Of
sure
course,
it's
yeah,
full
the
all the time.
tutorial and so many improvements.
I'm calling
to
it.
So especially for new players that I always see
calling
on
it.
social and Reddit saying that they just started the game. Please let us know how you feel about
Yeah.
this change, and hopefully you have a lot of fun with it.
It's the next logical step to kind of improve the onboarding experience, but also onboarding is something which is so important
No.
for us, and we can keep on moving in that direction with different venues. This time around, the hunter bots kind of fill a little bit of a missing piece there. So again, as a new player, please give us your feedback.
Yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, of course, Hunt is not the easiest game to learn from the beginning, so I think this is one really good step. But let's talk about some other.
It's real. We weren't coping.
Like especially the silent footsteps has been something which has been a point of contention with the community for quite some time now. We have identified.
Oh my god, I thought we were losing it.
Fixed the issue where trait charms were just floating in.
Yeah, there was something
on.
I don't care about that. Oh, wait.
We also added
UI changes. Let's go, man.
At the beginning of the year,
Loadout screen redesign.
Where you have 10 upgrade points to kind of like do it. So people are kind of building up their loads a little bit more with a specific gear in mind, etc. So they use the loadouts just a little bit more than they used before. And so one of the improvements here is that we went back to our traditional view.
What the hell am I looking at here, guys?
It just gives you a nicer way.
Okay, no, you just click and equip. Okay, I see.
Include the trades as part of
I see.
For now, the system at least works a lot nicer for the
Wait,
weapons.
whoa, did it say traits too?
We couldn't do for this update, but it's on the list for us for future, is like that we also include the traits as part of this. But for now, the system at least works a lot nicer.
Dude, if you have traits with loadouts, that would be huge.
Yeah, let's also look at this in action. Yeah, and I believe we also have a video for
game.
That.
Oh.
I think we also forgot to mention that now you will be able to read the
sure.
lore of Hunters
yes.
in the UI, which has been actually requested by a lot of people.
It's a small but I think very important piece, like that.
Read the lore.
You can
what?
kind of go back and read their little.
Oh, they just brought lore. That has nothing to do with UI. They brought the lore back.
Very, very important to kind of like also put themselves a little bit into the world.
Is that what I'm talking about?
Of the game.
What up, B?
Okay. So overall, you will have a back to lobby button now in most of the screens. So in general, you should be able to get back to where you actually commit to the next game very quickly. I don't have to like leave submenus first before you can do that. So the whole thing should feel a bit more accessible on either.
So I don't have to click escape 7,000 times.
Just remove traits from your trait bar in the corner.
Okay, let's just see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So you go to
back to lobby button in the corner, and wow, you're back to.
Oh, I see.
Convenient.
I see.
And yeah, this is the trait removal. So now you can, when you see all your equipped traits,
you click
in the
control.
Top right corner, you can just double
escape
to remove them, and you don't have to.
So control takes you back to the lobby at all times. That's cool.
Yeah, small quality of life change, but just gives you better.
Wait, I missed this one. What happened?
And yeah, this is the trait removal. So now you can, when you see all your equipped traits in the top right corner, you can just double click it to remove them, and you don't have to go through the big list.
Guys, I'm gonna hold your hand. That's already a thing. Is my hunt downloaded? I swear, that's already a thing. Okay, this is my hunter. Say, I need a, like, dauntless.
And yeah, this is the trait removal. So now you can, when you see all your equipped traits in the top right corner, you can just double click it to remove them, and you don't have to go through the big list at the bottom.
Below, yeah, small quality of life change. But just gives you.
When you see all your equipped traits in the top right corner, you can just.
I'm glad they're adding that in the next update. Yeah, I'm glad they're adding that feature in the next update. Like, it's not in the game already, man. It's literally a thing. So we're proud of the things that were already in. These guys don't even play their game, man. They didn't even know that. They don't even play their game. Are you serious?
Exactly. And
are you serious? They just found that out. That's been out for a year. Yeah, no thank you. Go sleep.
We have over 100 UI bug fixes in this update as well. So,
over 100 UI.
Been very busy. Yeah.
Over 100 UI bug fixes. The UI that they pushed so hard. That they did this whole grand reveal over a year ago. It was supposed to be the next great thing for Hunt Showdown. Is this brand new UI to make it look like the Nintendo store, man.
Yeah, and it's much appreciated. There's lots of progress in there, and there's even more to come.
And again, please, for bug fixes, specifically, not just regarding the UI, but the game, please read the patch notes. It's a lot of work going into it from the whole team, the community managers as well. So please read it. There's a bunch of UI bug fixes listed that
I'm still heated over the UI.
A lot of game bug fixes.
So in the biggest point about is like we've been done like an overall.
Yeah, no, their audio's fantastic.
So again,
they're making it even better. I love that.
Hinted it a little bit and shown some examples in the dev video that we released on Friday.
Yeah, fun is not something you want to hear.
We recommend you guys watching that video because all of the details are in there and you can actually really properly hear as it's like in-game live sense for it. But the important piece is that the information that is important
I cream over less.
More in the foreground now. You should be able to identify sounds better and clearer, and that helps us the overall mix and
now it's much
that's
easier
cool.
to know what's above you or below you.
Yes,
I like
so
that.
When you're inside buildings, now we kind of
Can we get a video on this too?
The pitch of the footsteps in terms of like how
Oh, gotcha. That's cool.
Up, down.
That's cool.
Again, in the dev video, we have a couple of examples for you guys to if you want to look up the details of that one, see some gameplay examples of this one.
Okay,
this
so they're not going to show us this one?
Cool change, and we've done a couple of experiments in the past in the direction.
What is this? Foley. What's that word mean?
Fully happy with this one. This is the first time this is actually really becoming so
Foley?
much clearer, especially like in the or down.
Foley is special effects. Okay. Okay, cool.
And actually, we changed a lot of things about
About the smart ones here.
Because
I'm like, hey, with Eggy and Maddie here, we would have had to Google that one.
Where the audio was missing, we changed the vertical sound, and we also
that's
changed
cool.
how it sounds across surfaces.
Yes, so just it's hard
Here,
to
gunshots
explain
now
because
sound
that's
more
once you
distant.
experience it, I'm pretty sure you guys will be happy.
Yeah, and other than just like the overall audio,
Really?
gunshot specifically has been remixed a bit, especially for interior gunshot sounds.
Yeah, it should be much clearer to understand which weapons are firing. Like some of the weapons, they will
It'd be like
suffering
that. It'd be
to
like
not
that.
fully be able to identify them with the indoor tails they had.
We've been seeing it for months now, and now we finally can talk about it.
DeSalle. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I might cry. Oh my god. Oh my. Could have been an extra in Arrow. That's good. Good show. Or the first like 2 seasons were good. Then I stopped watching it. It got weird. It got weird when the Flash was introduced, whenever that was. It all went haywire. Couldn't watch it anymore. You do? No. No. Well, I hear that a lot though, honestly. They say it's like one of the most stressful jobs, right? Because of how many hours you work. And it's just always like go, go, go. Yeah. Dude, I've missed it. So, look at it. Look at it. It's so beautiful. Oh. Show me that boat. Thank you so much. I don't even know what the FCC does, to be honest with you. Like a Federal Communications Commission? Like that?
Yeah, first of all, I must say this video, when I first
No,
saw it,
Eggy, it's not new map. It's an old map finally being released after like a year or two. Upgrade the latest version of CryEngine. Okay, layouts, lighting, terrain, and vegetation reworked.
So that concludes the last map is back in rotation.
PvP flow and flow. They love.
Family is
What is up with their new usage of flow here? What's up with this? They just learned what flow meant over here at Crytek. Like, what's going on?
We've done changes to the layouts. We've done changes to lighting.
Set the rules for. Oh, gotcha.
And then the PvP flow, like combat, etc.,
Gotcha.
as well as fidelity across the compounds, has been changed with lots of details. So I think we
Oh
can,
my
we can
God,
probably
it's so
go a little bit
beautiful.
more into detail some of those. So those are basically just like general
Like sweet
changes
DeSalle.
for the lighting.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just some
Look at that boat.
overview of the general lighting changes. And
Boat, the
of course,
big
you
boat.
guys could see it in the video as well. But the whole atmosphere has been uplifted, assets updated. As Dennis said, many layout changes, and we will be diving into right after this to the biggest ones. But
Okay.
I just think it like looks absolutely amazing.
It does.
It almost looks like
beautiful.
real.
Let's get
like
rid of some of this
pictures, not
fog
gonna
though,
lie.
maybe.
So I'm so happy.
Maybe we
But
get rid of some of
let's
this
talk
fog.
about what's exactly new.
Yeah, so the main thing is like some of the key areas have been overhauled. So notably
New
Pelican
tactical
Island,
paths.
for
Okay, so
example,
new
on
ladders,
the-
doors, and
on the-
windows.
on the
Okay.
hill. Then Pearl Plantation has seen a bigger shift, and Kingsnake Mine as well. So there's some pieces to it where we've either added ladders, we added entire.
Hey, it'd be like that,
buildings,
you know, hey.
new entry points, just whatever was good for the flow.
Hey,
whatever was good.
you know,
for
hopefully they got
making,
Twitch in prison.
Like the,
Know what I'm saying?
The particular compound.
You keep up with us.
play better.
3 time of day variants: clear view, amber sky. So you can't get night. So no nighttime. If I'm getting fucked for dropping the soap, I better be able to watch. What are you talking about? Yeah, no one said you had to do that. No one said that had to happen.
There will be probably more coming.
What up,
along the
Peaches?
way.
How you doing? How you
mentioned
doing?
the 3 main compounds, so we are going to be looking at those and each with a different
Yep.
time
Yeah.
of day. So we can see what changed, and then it's gonna kind of walk us through on some of the bigger
Oh,
changes.
look at
so of course, this is prison.
Yeah, so this Pelican.
Why is
Pelican-
why is the graphics so shit? Yo, guys, why does it look horrible? Is it just me? That looks like Play-Doh. The wager's cool. The event looks cool. DeSalle's back. Silence weapons, specifically the Maynard, is that what it's called? Yeah, the Maynard is gonna rule supreme. It's gonna be the supreme weapon again. What else did I talk about? Yo, the prompt change is cool. Bots, kind of an L. UI changes. We love UI changes because their UI sucks. They're improving their audio. That's already fantastic. That's cool. Catalyst trait's kind of cool. It seems kind of lazy though.
obtained from there. So it found
Feels a little bit lazy.
that
Overall, this could be a decent update. I mean, it's gonna be decent just because DeSalle's back, right?